It's rivalry week. Woo! One of the most exciting times of the year. Obviously, Georgia's, we're playing our third biggest rival, our little sisters, clean old fashioned hate. So that game to most people isn't interesting. Obviously, it will be interesting to me. It'll be the most interesting, but I won't cover that game as much in detail as I got the 10 biggest games that are must watch TV this college football week. Starting with number one, the most game I'm interested in, the battle for the Paul Bunyan Axe and for the Western Division title. You got number 12 Wisconsin, who's 9-2, which for some reason everyone seems to forget they're a good football team, and I don't know why people don't think they aren't. That's a good one. I mean, Ohio State beat them, and they're like, "Oh, Ohio State hasn't beat anyone." No, Wisconsin's a good football team. They're ranked number 12 versus at Minnesota, Ski-U-Mah, Row the Boat, Golden Gophers, College Game Day. I'm so glad that they're there. But at the end of it all, I got the running game of Wisconsin taking over, winning 27-21. I think they'll. Uh, I do like Taylor Morgan is passing over Penn State. I think they'll be able to stop him enough, and I'm not sure if they will be able to stop Jonathan Taylor in his last game to win the division, which I know they're out of the college football playoff race, but they could still win the Big Ten, and they could still eliminate Minnesota from college football playoff discussion, and I think they will. So the college football playoff hopefuls go from 9-8. Then the Iron Bowl. Number 5 ranked Alabama, number 15 ranked Auburn. It's at Auburn. It is a huge game for both teams, but a huge game for Gus Malzahn. If he beats them and gets that 10th win, there'll be 3 10-win seasons in 7 years, and it would have beaten Alabama for the third time in 7 years. So that'll be huge for Auburn. And to me, I think Auburn's D-line at Auburn's defense is the second best in the SEC. So I think they'll be able to stop Alabama for some field goals. And I know Bo Nix isn't all that great, against top opponents, but I think the defense can help them out. And I think if they can force a few turnovers and field position, if they can get helped out with that, I think they will win this game. And I got Auburn 23, Alabama 16. So cross out Alabama. I'm telling you, it's going to be hectic. Then you got the game, Ohio State versus Michigan. Now, Michigan's playing a lot better lately. I'll give them credit ever since that first half. Penn State, when they were down 21-0, ever since then, they've just taken off. But it's Ohio State, and they've looking like the best team in the country. And I think they'll give them a fight. But again, it's the hurdle of beating Ohio State. Until I see it, I won't predict it. I got Ohio State winning 31-20. Then you got Bedlam. You got Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. Now, Oklahoma dominates the rivalry. I think in the last 72 times they've played, it's 62-10. I mean, it's not really that much of a rivalry. I mean, they always win. Even though Oklahoma State does have a good football program, but they always win. But today, on Saturday, at 8 o'clock on Fox, I got an upset. Oklahoma in the last 3 games have outscored their opponents only by 8 points in their 3 wins. And then the 4th game, they lost to Kansas State. They've played TCU, Iowa State, Baylor, some good opponents, Kansas State, so not weak opponents, but, games that some of them they should handle. But I got Oklahoma State upsetting Oklahoma. I'm calling for a crazy week. I got them winning 34-21, so that is another team out of the playoff discussion. Then the 5th game that I'm most interested in, it is for the New Year's Six Bowl. It's the Group of 5. American, Cincinnati versus Memphis, and I got Memphis winning 45-31. They'd scored a bunch of points, but here's the kicker. Memphis and Cincinnati will play in next week. If Memphis beats Cincinnati, guess what? Memphis has to play Cincinnati again, so that's kind of funny. Then the sixth game that I'm interested in, it is in the Commonwealth state. It is Virginia and Virginia Tech. And it is the battle for the division. 2 8-3 teams, two really good football teams. Virginia Tech, ranked number 24. Now, Virginia Tech's won 14 in a row. And last year was a heartbreaking loss for Virginia. And I think it's going to be 15 in a row. Virginia Tech is looking hot, and I think they're going to do it for Bud Foster. This is the last year, 33 years as a defense coordinator, one of the greatest defense coordinators of all time, has had 2 shutouts the last 2 games, and I think they'll win again for Bud Foster. The 7th game I'm most interested in is the Egg Bowl. What? Well, Egg Bowl, well, here's the thing. It's always feisty, and it's just ugly, and it's for a bowl game for Mississippi State. It's on Thanksgiving Day, and I got Ole Miss ruining Mississippi State's chances of a bowl game, 27-24. I really like John Reese Plumlee. I think he could run all over Mississippi State, and he's just really good. And Ely, another guy that are both going to be playing baseball next in the spring, so it's going to be really fun for them to watch. You know, on the football, on the gridiron, and on the diamond. It's going to be great. And I got Ole Miss beating Mississippi State, and the hot seat is on Joe Moorhead. Then I got the Apple Cup. 2 great teams last year finished in the top 15. You know, Washington made it to the Rose Bowl last year, and Washington State finished 11-2, top 10. It finished number 10 in the rankings. But this year, not a lot of good stuff. They're both 6-5. Now, I don't understand why Washington is 6-5. You know, they have a good defense. They have a good quarterback. They don't have the receivers, though. But I got Washington winning in a close one, 28-24. And then the 9th game is in Kentucky. You got Louisville, who has one of the best turnarounds all year. Went from 2-10 last year to 7-4 against Kentucky, who had a great year last year. Lost a lot of guys to the NFL. Have to play with had a 3rd-string quarterback, wide receiver, as a quarterback, Lynn Bowden. And they've done really well. They're 4-2 since he's been the starting quarterback, and I think they're going to be 5-2, beating Louisville 23-20. And then last but not least, the game in Tobacco Road. Only good, you know, my man Jordan Tucker, Roswell Hornet, high school that I went to. And they're 5-6. Another great turnaround, 2-10 last year. Trying to get to a bowl game. Every game that they played in has been by 7 points or less, except for 2 of them. And I got them winning in a close one, 31-28 against NC State, who's had a terrible season. That's all my predictions. I just want to say thank you. It's going to be a fun week of Rivalry Week. You got 5 top 25 matchups. It's going to be amazing. The Iron Bowl, the Apple Cup, the Territory Cup. I mean, the Egg Bowl, everything. It's just, Rivalry Week is so much fun. It is going to be a lot of matchups. It's going to be crazy for the committee, and I just want to hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. You know, eat a lot of food, have time with your family. I just want to say thank you. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. That would be a huge help for me. And thank you, and go Dogs!